First of all, it was really, really good to play against someone else. Nothing surprised me about the game. I know that we have a lot to work on, and some of those things showed up. We did some really good things. Some of those things showed up. Was really, really pleased with our bench. I thought they changed the game in the first half. And, Macari, Noyes, Papa, and Mac, Macari, those guys did it, and Omari, those guys did a heck of a job of coming in and really establishing ourselves defensively. After they jumped out to that big lead of 12 points early, I thought it was an unbelievable and a great game situation for us to be in. And I really liked the way that we responded. We had to get back in transition. I think 14 of their first 16 points were in transition. And we made the adjustment. We started doing a better job there. They had 16 points, I think, with around 15 minutes left in the first half. And they had 31 at the half. So for the next 15 minutes, we did a pretty good job of defending. And if you look at their percentages for the game, once we got them in half court, we did a good job. Rebounding is a problem for us, and we have to fix that. And we knew that it could be a problem coming in, but it showed its head today, which is good because now maybe the guys will see it now, and then we can really, really hone in and start to work on that. But I thought we did some really good things. Again, it was great to be in this situation, to score 81 points, to do it in a somewhat efficient manner for the game. Really pleased with that. Have to do a better job of being strong with the basketball. But, again, I said we were a work in progress. We are. But it was great to have this experience in front of some people and to play against another team.
Cam, what do you feel like are some of the things you guys really need to work on?
I feel like we need to come out playing more aggressive. We kind of let them put their foot on the gas and we responded to them instead of us setting the tone of the game.
It was just an exhibition game. Where do you feel like your game has improved coming into this year?
I feel like I've taken jumps in pretty much every aspect of my game. Shooting, passing, playmaking. It's just got to let the work show.
Coming into the season, Coach obviously emphasized physicality and strength, especially defensively. Do you think you guys were able to show that today?
Yeah, I think we was. I feel like we play hard every day in practice, so the game was going to be nothing different.
What kind of role have you assumed, not just on the court, but off the court with the team since you've been here?
Honestly, I'm still figuring that out, because I'm still soaking the moment up, you know what I'm saying? I understand that I got this jersey on, you know what I'm saying? I get to play in the ACC, so, everything is a blessing. So, I don't know, I'm just trying to absorb everything, understand what relationships I got with certain guys, how to talk to certain guys. So, I'm still figuring it out. I'm trying to lead the right way, and that's different for certain guys.
When you say lead the right way, what do you mean? More by example, that type of thing?
That, and also understanding who I'm talking to and who on my team, you know what I'm saying? Certain people can't. Like, I grew up with tough love, you know what I'm saying? So certain things I might say come off aggressive, but it's from the heart. But some people might shell up, So understanding everybody's background, understanding who they are, where they come from, knowing the things to get them going, And I'm still growing and still knowing everybody, getting to know them to get them the things that tick them without screaming at them or cursing them out.
Well, when you go down 18-6, what are some things as a senior that goes through your head and some things you can do to keep people in check and keep the team rolling?
It's life. Life ain't gonna be peaches and cream. You're gonna hit a bump, you're gonna hit a roll, and that's what your character built on. So come on, let's get it going. We down 12. Let's buckle our seatbelts on. Let's get this lead back, tie this ball game up. Let's win this game.
Cam, how do you feel like the freshmen out there, Roman, Macari, Amari, how do you feel like they handled themselves out there?
Great. I know how it was for me coming in my freshman year. I feel like you got a bunch of expectations on you, but I feel like they handled themselves well.
All right, you guys good.
Thank you, have a good day.
You too.
You can keep it if you want. First one that said they didn't need it. Different.
That was interesting, as he's saying about figuring out kind of what buttons to push with guys. How have you seen him approach that process, and how have you tried to guide him in that process?
Well, he's the leader. He is one of the leaders of the team. There's no doubt. And I understand what he's saying. Polo is a guy that he can be hard in a really good way. What he's trying to say is that everyone can't take that. And so that's what he's learning, who he can be his natural self with, and then who does he have to kind of tone it down with. Because naturally he's aggressive. I'm going to confront a problem or something that I think is a problem, something that I think is not right. I'm going to confront it. And everyone can't handle that. One of the great things is that he can handle it. You can say whatever you need to say to him. And he's able to take whatever message that I or we as a coaching staff have back to the team. But what he's talking about is that he's learning his team and learning each personality, which I think is one of the primary keys for a really good point guard. You have to understand who it is that you're leading, what makes them tick, what buttons to push, and the only way you can learn that is through relationships.
Jeff, is that a dynamic that you can relate to personally from a coaching perspective, especially when you're looking at freshmen guys from the portal, just figuring out how kids respond?
It's exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. To be able to get the best out of someone, you have to know them. Like, you have to care about them. Like, they have to know that there's something there besides what they can do on the court. Can they make a shot? Can they get a rebound? Can they run a play right? There has to be something deeper there. And Polo really understands that. He understands that at a really, really high level. And that's very, very rare. And so it's been really cool, getting to know him on a deeper level and then watching him figure this out and understand his teammates. The fact that he wants to do it is unbelievable. And it shows how much he really cares. And, the words that he says and all these things, like, that's him. This is not fake. It's not a facade. Even him at the end thanking you guys and having that's him. He's one of the most grateful and appreciative people that I've been around. And like I said, it's been really cool getting to know him.
Jeff, is that a trait you knew when you were thinking of bringing him here?
It's a trait that we thought. But you don't know something until you're with someone every day. Our recruitment of him was really unique, really cool. And I kind of suspected that's how he was during that process. Because he was straight to the point. Like, there was no BS, there were no games, it was very adult-like, very mature. And again, you don't find that much especially in my world in recruiting.
Jeff, you had a very balanced offensive approach today. I know it's just an exhibition, but is that the expectation for this upcoming season?
Yeah, we have guys that are able to play and contribute. And one of the things I told our team yesterday, I don't know who I'm starting yet. I mean, they found that I made a decision this morning of the 5, and I told them we'll probably start a different lineup in the second half. We'll probably start a different lineup for the exhibition game. We don't need to know that till November 3rd. But the main thing is that everyone has to be ready. And when your number's called, you need to come in with energy, whether you're starting, whether you're coming off the bench. And like I mentioned earlier, I thought our bench guys did an unbelievable job, for Mac – and for Mac is Makari, for Mac and for Omari, this being their first time, and especially for Mac, man, the way he came in and defensively and cutting and drove it and just played with energy. I thought it changed the game. Noyes, it's the first time he's played extensive minutes like this, and he, did some good things. If he makes some layups, then he did some great things. I thought Papa's energy was really, really good. And so, again, everyone has to be ready for whatever role they're in. We're still figuring that out. We don't know yet. Like I mentioned the other day, I'm still trying to figure our team out, but I like the pieces that we have. We just got to keep working at it.
It looked like Roman was another one of those guys that was pretty engaged defensively and active. When you talk this offseason about kind of becoming tougher, how much does he factor into that idea?
Yeah, he factors into it big time. He factors into it big time, but all of them do. And Roman's getting better. He's not where he wants to be yet and not exactly where we need him to be. but he's getting better. And this has been a huge adjustment for him. This has probably been the biggest adjustment of anyone on our team. It's probably been him, because he didn't get here until sometime during the first week of September. So he didn't have a summer with us. And then this is his first time in America. And so everything is different, where Noyes is Lithuanian, but he grew up in America. You know, Papa and Amdi, those two guys went to high school in America. You know, this kid, this is his first time, and he doesn't get here until September. We've been working since June 26th. And so all of this is new to him. The terminology, I mean, everything. I mean, even subbing into the game, you know, like how they do it over there. We had to tell him, like, you got to go up here. All these things, blocking out on a free throw. I mean, everything, calling a timeout. Everything is different for him. And so, you know, he's got a great attitude. He wants to be really good. He can be really hard on himself. But, you know, we have to help him through this transition period. But he is a guy that provides toughness, intensity, passion. He wants to be really good. And so I'm excited about coaching him.